All right, good morning, everyone. Melissa here. I'm getting ready to go to a business meeting. Um, I had a business class last night, and we talked about different stuff with your website, branding, social media. This class is really good. It adds a lot of value to business owners. So I wish I knew some of the stuff that I'm learning now before I started my YouTube channel, but I didn't know. But anyways, go with one thing if you want to be known for something. And so I have a lot of different things going on, and I'm like, how in the world do I connect the dots here? That's my thoughts. So I'm like, okay, yes, I started my business. Oh, I'm getting my business off the ground. Not quite yet. It'll start in May. And then I'm like, okay, so how do I do my social impact? So that's what I'm working on now. I am using my grandmother's story, my mother's story. So my grandmother, coming from, they had dirt poverty. And then my mother's story with just being raised in the projects and how that affected me. So I had someone ask me for my testimony, and they were like, I want to hear your testimony. So, I was talking about the whole forced abortion and what happened, and it is good, guys, to talk to other people about what happened in your life. And I was listening to someone yesterday who said the storms in life are there, but they don't have to destroy you. They are to you can enter them and you can grow. And if you have the same old routines all the time, and they're your comfort, your routines, you're not going to grow. You want those storms in life to help you grow. So, just a lot of encouragement yesterday, and I will be going toward, my book, my branding, my app, my competition coming up in July, and then just the way I share my testimony and working on that. So that is what I will be known for is not just the abortion, but coming out of those dark places, turning your life around, and having your family. So I worked very hard. I wasn't just a stay-at-home mom. I wasn't just a homeschool mom. I was somebody who took everything that I had in my life, turned it around with mindset, turned it around with, Bible studies, classes, community. And usually that is what is needed for women who have come from, simple, there's nothing wrong with simple living, but, I was even thinking of my grandparents where I grew up, in the mountains, in the country area with my grandparents and how my grandmother used to play, my country grandmother, music on her radio as she peeled the potatoes and stuff. Her and her sister Hannah used to go collect oysters at the ocean. She was very much a farm woman, having her own farm garden, and just her tomatoes were amazing. Her rhubarb pie. I grew up in the country seeing all this, and how that was such a good influence in my life, the country life. And then the city life, also a great influence. So being able to talk across the lines, across the board with different type of people, and thinking about, how I had all that stuff, and I went into becoming a Christian. My story I shared last night about becoming a Christian with someone, how that happened, how I went to hairdressing school. I had this weird lady, I thought, very weird, at a salon I worked at while I was in hairdressing school. I had 3 jobs. I had my work at the hairdressing school, I had a salon I was working at, and I was working at the Common Man restaurant in Concord. And this woman believed in God, and she kept talking about God, and she invited me to a Bible study, and I just thought she was the weirdest person, but yet she was so nice. And she was an example to me of, just how sweet she was to me. And then just, talking about how my background with a million different things and putting Christian beliefs into that. So really, women who have come from, nothing, they don't know Christ, they don't have a faith, and then they go into, believing in God, and how do they change their life around. So transforming your life into a Christian and choosing different principles for your family in a different life. So that is what my story is. I just totally changed. I totally did a 180. Once I became a Christian, I really turned my life around a lot, and that is what I want to give other women. How to change, how to do things, how to be in community, mentorship, all these things you can do to turn your life around to be much more in a better place for personal growth, personal health, a personal life. I had to critically be there for my family in order to for my family to succeed. I had to change myself in a million ways. So that is exactly what I did.